welcome back to another edition of the Mortal Realms magazine review. Okay, so this week, folks, we're up to number 8. So there's a quick peep at the cover. Okay, and the 3 little now familiar tag bars that let us know what we're in for. It says Celestar Ballistas. It's basically a crossbow stroke catapult piece of heavy artillery. We get that in this issue, so I'll be showing you that and focusing on that. So it's obviously going to tell us all about Celestar Ballistas. Painting with Kantor blue. That's something else we get with the issue, which I'll show you in a minute. And charging playthrough. Okay, so charging is the phase of the game where I have my models, you have your models, and within a certain range, and I can run in, pile in, and we fight hand to hand. Okay, so what you're really here for is what do we get with this issue? Well, it's actually a decent value issue, this one. We get a base paint Citadel Kantor blue. Okay, and we get the actual model itself of the Celestar Ballista. That's going to be the big base for it there, and we've obviously got 2 guys, base there, who are going to operate the machine. Okay, so I'll give you a quick blast of what this week's models are going to look like. Okay, I'm going to shut up, I'm going to go up top, let's open the magazine and have a look what's in this week's issue. Okay folks, issue 8, let's take a look. So we can see we have the gold colour here for the cover, and as per usual now, Warhammer Age of Sigmar Mortal Realms, issue number 8, and there's our bullet points. Like mentioned before, Celestar Ballistas, painting with Kantor blue, charging playthrough. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Okay, so come onto the contents page. So it says Celestar Ballistas, Shyish, read about life in the realm of death. Sounds interesting. That'll be my one article I'm going to go away and read after filming. Besieged, during the siege of Glimsforge, a liberator finds himself face to face with the Nighthorn's processions. It's interesting. How to build the Celestar Ballista. How to paint Celestar Ballista. Unleash the artillery. That's obviously the playthrough. In this playthrough we introduce charging, a new combat step which will change the way your battles play out. So already up to issue 8 now, I think we've covered most of the phases. We had magic recently, we've had the shooting, this is now combat. So I think there's only really morale phases and cleanup phases left to introduce, which is nice. Editorial. And then we come across to the Celestar Ballista section for the Stormcast Eternals. Okay, so we get our now familiar, lovely photography, just showing us all about our new weapon of choice. Okay, so it just says here, Celestar Ballistas cover the walls of every storm keep. They are potent artillery weapons with great range, a rapid rate of fire, and the ability to cut down dozens of enemies before they even reach the walls or defences of the Stormcast Eternal Defenders. So again, yeah, big catapult guys. I've actually played and I've used one of these things, and yeah, in gaming terms they are nasty, trust me. Okay. Okay, this is nice. So turn it over and we see Sacristan Engineers. Okay, so we have a loader and we have a spotter. So these are obviously our guys who operate the machine. Okay, tools of the trade, and just shows us little bits of the details that they're going to have, their range finders and all that type of stuff, guys. And then this is the page I want to actually go away and read, the realms, and it's Shyish. In Shyish, death shadows every mortal, there is no escape. So basically Shyish is the realm of death. Says life in Shyish can be harsh and cruel, but there are those that thrive even in the unforgiving midst of Nagash's realm. So it's basically Nagash's hometown. Okay, so that'll be really, really good. Looking forward to that one. And then we just go over the page and just says about life in Shyish, the people of Shyish, cosmology, a little bit about the realm of Shyish. And again, look at that. Brilliant. Okay, then we go on to battles, the realms besieged, and it tells us a little bit about what happened to Glimsforge, the Nighthorn's attack by the look of it, and goes on about liberators. continues there. And a little bit just to close off over Glim's Forge. Okay, so that looks like the main beef of the content this month. I've done it again, haven't I, this week? Okay. How to build your Celestar Ballista. So I'll be interested to see how this one goes together, to be honest. Safety stuff at the bottom. Okay, so nice push together again. Doesn't look too bad at all, certainly for the two little guys who make up the crew. And the ballista itself actually looks like it's in yeah, there aren't very many parts to it at all. That should actually be a really nice build, guys. Shouldn't take too long at all. So as per usual, after this section, I'll disappear, I'll build it and come back and show you it. How to paint the Celestar Ballista, and you say we need a couple of base paints, Retributor Armour, which is a gold, Corax White, the Rakeland Flesh Shade, and the Stormcast, Stormhost Silver, sorry, okay, and obviously Cantor Blue. So that's showing what they want us to do with it. Okay, so flick over the page. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Nice little process there. I look at it like at that base, that's going to look really nice. That it's basically just they're painting it up and doing our usual techniques by now. A little bit of dry brush and stuff by the look of it. So there's your first coat. There's your second coat, and your final coat. Yeah, it's just going on then about how you put the ink over it. Okay, which most of you know by now, the ink just basically brings out all your details, and then dry brushing your models in a silver. So you're basically just going to be dry brushing them up to bring up the details as shown in this model here. You see where it's golden and you have like all the recesses are all filled in, and then you see like the silver across the top. That's the effect they're going for. And it just says how to paint Stormcast Eternals with the Corax White. So they're asking us to basically just do the cloak, as we see here. That'd be to basically undercoat it so you can, yeah, just so you can paint your blue on. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, and the flesh as well, obviously, paint the guy's head and his face. So there's a shot of the base coat for the cloak, and then moving across, it shows us the paint Stormcast Eternals with the Cantor Blue, and there you go. It's just basically painting the battle skirt. There probably is a technical term for them, but yeah, there you go. And that's the effect that we're basically looking for, and that gives you an idea of what you're aiming to actually have at the end of that process. Again, there's nothing hard there, folks. A couple of base coats, a little bit of ink, a little bit of a dry brush, all good. Oh, now that is nice, and it shows the full page of the finished models, what they look like up to now. So there you go. So they're like basically the kits that we've got here, and there's some other stuff there. You've seen all these models in previous issues, but they look lovely, don't they, with that little lick of paint on them. Okay, and finally we get to our battle, Bolt and Glaive it's called. So it looks like there's going to be the Celestar Ballista and some Glaive Wraith Stalkers coming across the battlefield, and it gives us a chance to open that bad boy up and mow down a few of them undead. Okay, so now standard bump on how we attack and what we do. Tells us about the ballista, what you need to do. You need to roll a 3 for it to hit, and etc, to wound, how to damage, all that type of stuff. Come back to the Glaive Wraiths, come back to the ballista, and what basically you're trying to do, the Glaive Wraiths are going to be trying to come across and destroy the ballista. The ballista's obviously trying to shoot them before they get there and get into combat. That's basically the method in the madness. Battle continues. There's the war scroll for the ballista. Our now standard guidance, Warhammer community, and exploration to help folks find out what other help and community stuff you got out there. And then we do the preview, which is always my favourite bit on other people's videos. They're coming to the Mortal Realms issue 9, and that's going to be Stormcast reinforcements. So we're getting more Sequitors, the guys with the big hammers, and we're getting more Castigators, the guys with the bows. Okay, folks? So I'm going to go away now, build that ballista and crew, come back and show you, and then we'll finish off another one. Okay, folks, back again. Final part of the video done. So I've gone away, I built the 3 models. Okay, So this is the first guy. The details on these are like really nice. So you can see the details in the head and on the face, down the front there. And he's got some kind of thing in his hand. I'm presuming it's a navigating tool. There is a name for it. There you go. Okay. You'll notice straight away that the shoulder pad here is a real pain to get done, to be honest with you. Because with these models, what actually happens is they are pushed together. You just put them in place and you push them. But there's like a little piece of plastic, like a little thing that sticks out. So one part sticks into the other. What I'd recommend anybody actually following this series and are going to build these models, more so this particular one, just get your clippers and just trim that little pole part just a little bit, because what had actually happened is I'd put it in, I'd done all the glue, all the prep, all the sorting, I'd pushed it together, and despite my best efforts to actually keep it together, it's turned out like that. I mean, it's not a big deal. If you're model inclined or knowledgeable, you basically just get a little bit of what's called green stuff, like a putty, and basically just put it across there like that, just fill it in before you paint it. Or you know what, I've used Blu Tack before today to do the same job. Again, the bases are nice, they're all done and decorated. So he is the first guy, and my moan out of the way. His teammate is obviously, I think he's like the spotter, because he's got this instrument here, and his hand is pointing in like the direction, and he's facing sort of side on. Stand on the rock, which is like really nice, and again you can see the detail in the base. I'm not really sure which side I like best, the Stormcast or the Nighthorns for the detail. I think I'll probably go with the Nighthorns, with them being sort of, you know, ghostly apparitions and stuff, because those models are really nice. However, the Stormcast models are more sturdy when you put them together, not as fiddly. Okay, so that's our second guy, and probably the model that you all want to see is the actual ballista itself. So the base is what strikes me with the model first, is you've got like all the little knickknacks on the floor there, ammunition and bolts and all that kind of stuff, a couple of little tools and stuff, some nice paving. So it's a lovely base. That's the actual ballista itself there. Just turn it round, we can see it's on like 3 legs, and it's like a cross between like a crossbow and a catapult, really. Very powerful on the battlefield, like previously mentioned. I've used it before, and it's a piece I'd certainly take in every army list. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I know there's some people, particularly Jason, not suitable for mum, who actually really enjoys this this section, the model showcase. So I hope you're watching, Jace. I hope you like this one, mate. Okay, so that's it for me for now. So all's left to say, guys, is if you've discovered me via the YouTube algorithm, search engines, Bing, Google, YouTube search, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you like what you see, check out the other content and leave me a subscribe, okay? Share the video, like and comment, please, okay? And for you returning folks, thank you as always. I really hope you're all enjoying the series, and I'll see you for the next one.